Mayong gabi. Ang gabi ko man na record. But anyway, this is for Sunday. Padayon kita sa atong panagisgot kabahin sa mga naanaran o ang storya sa Bible, culture and narrative. So last time nagisgot kita about families. Okay, families, the Messiah. Nagisgot kita about the messiness sa mga families. Pero sa grasya sa Ginoo, he navigated through the messiness of the people in the Bible so that the Messiah could come out. And of course, the end of that is that Christ would be the ear of everything. Siya ang magdawat sa irensya. And the irensya is the universe. Okay? And then we became co-heirs with Christ. So God the Father was whatever God the Father has given to Christ the Son, which is also ours. Kung grabe ka na nga pagpanalangin. Grabe ka na panalangin. So, paraan niya po ito paghisgot about families, about Abraham, and then later on, dito na sa pamilya nilang Joseph. And then, makita nato unsay tuyo sa Ginoo, uh, why he does certain things na totally opposite yun sa pamaagi sa kalibutan. So, interesting lang din sa Genesis chapter 15. Uh, Genesis chapter 12, the Lord called Abraham from Ur, sent him to Canaan. He went to Egypt. He had a problem because he lied about his wife, and they went back to Canaan. And then they separated with Lot, and then he became very rich. Grabe na yung mga katigayunan. And then tinuod gayud ang blessing sa Ginoo, this land will be yours. Okay, I will bless you. So, di ba sa atong nakita tulo man to, the land will be yours. You will have many children, and then through you, okay, pinaagi sa isa sa imong kaliwat, all the nations will be blessed. Ang tanan ng panalanginan. So karon, nahitabo na nga tuwa na siya sa yuta nagisaad sa Ginoo. Tuwa na siya, nagtungtong na siya o daghan na yang katigayunan. Musagali nag-separate sila sa iyang relative nga si Lot kay tungod di na magkaya ang ilang mga katigayunan, ang ilang mga katawhan, ang ilang mga livestock or kahayupan, di na kaya. So they had to separate. And then of course, Abraham grew, nagdaghan pa gid ang iyang livestock o mao to nga ingon siya, imo na kong gipanalanginan, asa ko man ibilin ning tanan? O mao ang iyang dilema. So makita nato din na nga ang mga katigayunan sa kalibutan dili gayud mao ang end of everything, dili mao ang end sa atong kinabuhi. Kay in fact si Abraham, he was so blessed, but he said, "Sao man ako ni karon? Wala man ko'y kabilinan ani," because he realized, he understands that one of these days he has to go. Yan lagi unsa man ingon sa ihatag ko lang ni sa akong alagad nga si Eliezer. Murag Abraham understood pagkawa ba hinungdan kung maora man day na, di ba? Daghan yung katigayunan pero ihatag ko lang sa di na ko parente sa ako lang ulipon. So that's what he told the Lord. And of course God said no, you will have a child. Kay anak, daghan nimo mahimo kang amahan sa daghan nga nasod, okay? It will be a nation because that's what the Lord promised. Pero interesting kayo na nga realization ni Abraham. First of all, again, katigayunan sa kalibutan dili mao ang end. It will not fulfill us. Dili gid ka na mao mag-define sa ato. Ug daghan mga storya nga atong madunggan labi na ning mga sapian, daghan mga katigayunan, di ba? Dubdub ko sa una nahimo mig part aning dako nga simbahan, isa sa mga daghan sila og mga programa o isa sa mga courses dito is about Last Will and Testament. Ipasulat mi sa Last Will and Testament. O I understand nga sa ilaha, importante to kay nakita sa murag pastoral staff tungod kay ilang mga membro, mga high-end man, nga dako nga problema ng mga katigayunan. Bisan pa man dili sa ah, mga daghan katigayunan, mga sapian, problema magid ang mga katigayunan asa ibilin. So naa dito yung practice nga magsulot kasi imong last will and testament. Sa ay mo awkward kayo to do it. But that's the reality of our lives, di ba? One of these days we have to go. And asa man nato ni bilin, pero daghan dito nga realize sa mga kadaghanan. In fact, isa sa akong mga kaila sa una, nga nag-build sila sa negosyo. Okay? Ang ilang negosyo mo ay pagpalit sa gulay sa Benguet, dalo nila sa Manila, o gatungod ana nakakorta silang dako kay dakong patong. Okay? Pagbagsak sa Manila sa Balintawak, i-distribute nila sa ilang mga kliyente, o dako nakapundar silang negosyo. But in the end, the realization was that walay gusto sa mga anak sa negosyo. Kaya ang mga anak, they took another direction. So ingon to nga kung kailang nga paggawa ba hinungdan nga hinaguan na mo sa among misis, we built this business and then the children doesn't want it. Okay? Kuya po kayo nga interesting po kayo nga sitwasyon. Na may uban yun nga murag. Ulat na lang sila mawala ilang ginikanan para ilahan na tanan. Pero kini, dili nila gusto. Di ba? Di na mao nga mong gusto. Okay? So, problema gayud ka na. Pero guhapo din kay gipakita sa Ginoo nga pinakadako nga blessing dili ang makatigayunan sa kalibutan tinuod pwede na ihatag sa Ginoo pero ang mga kabataan, okay, ang mga kabataan ang dako nga panalangin. In this case, it's because there was this promise of the Messiah. O dili magpadayon ang saad sa Mesiyas ang mahimong panalangin sa tanan. Through you, the nations will be blessed. Ingon ang Ginoo nga Abraham. Kung dili siya matagaan sa anak. Okay? So mao to we understand, to make the long story short, God is really good sa promises. Even at times murag, di ba, murag wala na kahitabo. Pero yeah, but remember remember nako ang saying, I said it to the other video. Di ba, God is doing 10,000 things in our lives and we only know 3. Di ba? Okay, we think that God is not at work in the background, but He is. He is at work. In the life of Abraham, he felt that way nga unsa man ni Lord. Okay? Imo na kong gibless sa daghang katigayunan. I'm very powerful and very rich. But you haven't given me a son. What's the point of having all of these things? And God reminded him that the blessing was a son. Children, mga kabataan. Nga maayo ka na nga panginumdum that children are a blessing from the Lord. Uh, and of course, we see that through the families, through the line of succession, we know that later on came out Jesus the Messiah, through families, even through their messiness. Again, I said it last Wednesday, God, the Lord, navigated through the messiness of human so that the Messiah could come out. Okay, the Savior, Jesus Christ. Grabe kayo na nga, ano tawag na, pagpadagan si Ginoo sa storya. And I remember, it made sense to me nga kining grasya dili ni something natong gisudlan. Okay, again, keep saying this one. We think that grace is a new religion, a new box where we put ourselves in. Ay katong sa una, dili to grace. No. Actually, grace is a line. It's a line, infinite line. From the very beginning, it's all grace. Okay? Grasya tanan si Ginoo. Even the story of the Bible, the story of Abraham in case, it was all grace from the very beginning, even in the middle of his life and till the end of his life. So it's not a box actually, it's just a line. Okay? It's how life goes on because of the grace of God. So it's not something that we put ourselves into it and we say, grace mi karon, grasya mi karon. No. It is how life goes on, moves on. It's actually a line. Mas maayo ang illustration. It's a straight line. Before, and the middle, and even the very end, it's all by the grace of God. Now, moving forward, families gihapon ta. Dito sa kining tema sa Bible balik-balik nga, ang ang manghod mo ay unsay tawag ani, mas nilabaw sa maguwang. Okay, interesting kayo ning istorya. Daghan ni sa Biblia. Even Jacob himself was a story of he was the younger one over the elder brother Esau. And even in the time of Joseph, he was the youngest. Of course, there was Benjamin, but then the youngest Joseph, okay, was over the older ones. Basta kay nasuko ay ang mga brothers sa iya, silang Reuben, silang Judah, nasuko sila tungod sa mga stulti, mga damgo ni tawag ni Joseph nga it seems he was not seems but he was implying that he will be greater than them. So ngano kini balik-balik man nga istorya. And in fact sa panahon ni Joseph, sa nana siya duha ka anak nga si Manasseh ug si Ephraim. Magulang kini si Manasseh. Manasseh means God made me forget, and Ephraim means, okay, Ephraim man na sa ila. Ephraim means fruitful. So kuyaw kay na mangalan. So iyang magulang nga lalaki mingon siya Manasseh. Okay, God made me forget, but every time he sees Manasseh, he will remember what happened to him. But then, rog two parts to sa kinabuhi ni Joseph. But the youngest one, for the latter part of his life, he named him Ephraim or fruitful because it was a time of blessing. You about to say. So duha ka sigayon siyang kinabuhi. Or this thing na lang, why would you name your son God made me forget? And every time you see your son, you remember what happened to you. You were sold by your brothers. You were imprisoned there. You were wrongly accused. And then you confronted your brothers and all of those things. So anyway, I don't know why Joseph made name his son that way, Manasseh and Ephraim. But interesting of all things, the same theme again, because the time that Jacob was going to bless na ang mga kabataan ni Joseph. In fact, ingon siyang imo mga kabataan, they will be mine. That's why that was a sign that Joseph became the elder brother of everybody. Grabe kayo na siya karon nga manghud mo na siya gipalabaw. Okay, this is again description. Okay, this is not prescriptive. Very descriptive ni sa storya sa Bible. Now this is how God operates. Okay, we will understand it later on. And Paul expounded about this one. Ngano inani man ang pamaagi sa Ginoo. Maingon ta makareact nga unfair man na, okay? Pero sa kultura magud sa Biblia, kultura sa mga Hudyo, okay? Kultura nila, double portion perminti ang elder son, okay? Sorry to say, pero murag wala kayo ikuan ang mga babae sa storya sa Bible, sa narrative sa Bible. But it's the elder son who was given importance, the alpha. After the father is gone, when he is gone, the elder son takes on the role of the alpha. He's now the head of the family, and that's why he has a double portion of everything. Now, God doesn't want to work that way, okay? In fact, sa storya ni Jacob, explain niya nga anil dili si Reuben. Reuben was the first son. Pero sa Reuben, kusgan kay ka, grabe ka. But dili po ko makalimot sa imong gibuhat, dili maayo imong gibuhat na sa dili maayo gibuhat. And that was that he married one of the concubines of Jacob. Pero wala na ginaya si Jacob but not through you. Ingon siya, not through you, Jake, not through Reuben. Of course, it was through Judah. But then, at that time, what Jacob saw was that Joseph will be over his brothers. And it's true, it happened, di ba? When Joseph was very powerful in Egypt, he was over all of them, even Jacob. Grabe ang iyang gahom. Nahitabo gito. And then we ask the question, why? Why would he do that? Because ang pamaagi sa Ginoo is not through strength, okay? Ang pamaagi sa Ginoo dili the usual pamaagi. Sa kultura it should be to the elder brother. But this time it's the younger son rising over the elder brother, okay? Now when we go forward to the story of the prodigal son, we remember that who was highly favored pa. Who was favored? Okay? It was the younger son. Okay? It would make sense because ngano perminti mastorya nga ang younger mo mulabaw sa magulang. Nga natagaan og importansya ang younger son kaysa elder son. Okay? Because when we know the real story, who is our elder brother? Okay? Who is the true elder brother in the Bible? Of course, God is our Father. Jesus is the Son. And we are essentially, technically, we are brothers of Jesus, and He is our elder brother. But in the story, in the interesting of the twist of the story, we are karon ang younger son, we are the one being favored. So, grabe gid nga grasya no para sa aton no. Kita mo na mga manghod ni Jesus. Pero tungod sa pagpaningkamot sa tong magulang nga si Jesus, kita ang nga bulahan. Grabe na nga twist sa storya. Okay. So anyway, pero ngano inana, balikan na to. Kay mo ang pamagi sa Ginoo dili sa usual ones. Not through the elder brother, but again, it's through the younger son rising up over the elder brother. Why? Because the younger son is the picture of weakness. The elder brother is a picture of strength. Okay? And then, of course, we know in the Bible, it is through weakness that he could display his strength. Mao daw ko na ang analysis ana. Even si Apostol Pablo man nag-emphasize ana. Interesting ang iyang istorya sa 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Ako lang basahon. Ayun din Paul's vision and his thorn in the flesh. This boasting will do no good, but I must go on. I will reluctantly tell about visions and revelations from the Lord. So, naado siya yung mga visions and revelations. I was caught up by the third heaven 14 years ago. So, sa iya po sulat ani. Okay? Whether I was in my body or out of my body, I don't know. Only God knows. Kuya only si Pablo yung experience. Yes, only God knows whether I was in my body or outside my body. But I do know that I was caught up to paradise and heard things so astounding that they cannot be expressed in words, things no human is allowed to tell. That experience is worth boasting about because he was favored, but I am not going to do it. I will boast only I will boast only in my weaknesses. If I wanted to boast, I would be no fool in doing so because I would be telling the truth, but I won't do it because I don't want anyone to give me credit beyond what they can see in my life or hear in my message. Even though I have received such wonderful revelations from God. So, to keep me from becoming proud, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from Satan to torment me and keep me from becoming proud. So, grabe kayo, no? Nahitabo sa iya. Even though there is reason for him to boast because he was in paradise, he heard and saw things, but he said, no, no, I will not boast in that. 3 different times I begged the Lord to take it away. Each time he said, my grace is all you need, my power works best in weakness. So mauna yung ni Apostol Pablo and we confirm na pamagi sa Ginoo from the very beginning that it's always through weakness, the younger one, the slower one, the weak one. Okay? So now I am glad to boast about my weakness so that the power of Christ can work through me. That's why I take pleasure in my weakness and in the insults, hardships, persecutions, and troubles that I suffer for Christ. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So that's very paradoxical. Diba? Ang Bible, ato nasgutan na sa dugang panahon, very paradoxical ang mga prinsipyo. When I am weak, then I am strong. So, that's how God works from the very beginning. Through the weak, the younger one, okay? The sinful, the messy people like us. Kasi siguro pagali, diba? Because there's all that there is. Messy people, diba? Sinful people. But it is through those weaknesses that God displays His strength. Diba? Why would He save people who are strong? Why would He heal those people who are already well? Diba? Yung ganiya, diba? They don't need a doctor. Okay? But I am here to display my power through weak people, to sinful people, to people who are failing. That's where I could show my strength. Even kang Apostol Pablo ingon siya, I beg the Lord, take it away from me. But how could the Lord display His power when He takes away that messenger from Satan, that thorn in the flesh? That's why we always say, do we only welcome good things from the Lord? We also welcome the bad things. Diba? That's a difficult pill to swallow. Lisod ka na tunlon. But that's the reality of our lives. That's why we go through hardships. But it's through these hardships that we could see the power of God being displayed. Okay? Because of not of those, asa na ito makita ang gahom sa Ginoo. So salamat kita. We welcome these hardships, these sufferings. So it is then we could see the power of God at work. So again, that's how God works even through the families in the Bible, through Abraham, the blessing of a son, through Joseph, the younger over the elder brother, as Paul said, because it is through weakness that God displays His power. So, see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, and happy weekend.